and welcome to another episode of Green Shift. Today, in this episode, we are going to discuss coal gasification. Why now? Why are we discussing coal gasification? That's because the government came out last week with a large scheme worth 37,500 crore rupees.
I had a chat with an expert in the industry, a gentleman called Atanu Mukherjee, who is the CEO of Dastur Energy, which is a very large global consultant. Now, he told me that with syngas, you can produce hydrogen at a cost of about $1.25 per kilogram, which is the dream of the entire hydrogen industry.
As with any process or something that's been mooted anew, I'm sure there are challenges to this process.
Yeah, you bet.
Can you elaborate on some that are?
Oh yes, I know this from talking to experts. The very critical thing about coal gasification is to marry the right technology to the type of coal, that is the feedstock.
The determination of the success of a project at large scale depends totally on what kind of coal you have got. And therefore, it is extremely important to understand the nature of the coal. Indian coal is very different, as you know, very, very different than other coals outside generally available where gasification has worked at large scale. For example, if you look at United States, and some other places. So it's very important, and of course in other like South Africa, for example. But it's very important to have the right technology set for the techno-economics to work on the kind of coal that you have. And we said that therefore it is important to understand that Indian coals, any gasification technology has got to be something called a non-slagging gasifier, which basically means that I don't melt the coal. If I melt the coal, given the very high ash content and the nature of the ash that Indian coal has, the likelihood for that to operate is remote in terms of it'll operate, with fits and starts. But at large scale, you want continuous operations and you want to make sure that the coal is matched to the technology, and that's when you move forward. Lignite will work and the economics should work. If the right kind of entrained flow gasification. So here is the problem, right, that happens. Any EPC contractor who builds this plant, they also know the risk, right? They know, right? And the technology provider also knows the risk that, look, this is a risky project because we know on high ash coal or low rank coals as it like is more challenging and may not work. So their risk premium in terms of the charge that they take on the EPC contract is very high.
So to answer your question, the future is there with the coal gasification. We will crack it, we'll get there. We have to do it fast.